it's March time, and in this video John's going to show you how he cuts back this Hydrangea Paniculata so that it's the right shape, the right height when it flowers in August for its particular spot in his garden, as he explains. Hello, welcome to John Horsey Horticulture. John's been teaching horticulture professionally for over 30 years now, and on this channel we're hoping to help you develop your gardening skills, whether you're new to gardening looking for some basic foundations, or whether you're a seasoned horty who could always use some extra tips and advice on propagation, on growing home vegetables, a little bit of pest control. If you like learning those things, do consider following us. Just push the subscribe button, there's no charge. Push the all-important notification bell, it lets you know every time we upload a new video. And in the description below I've added some links and some additional notes together with the timestamps, which helps you navigate your way through the video at your leisure.
Good morning everybody. It's spring has arrived at last, and we're out in the garden tidying up things and getting things ready for next year. One of the first jobs I like to do is cutting back these hydrangeas. This is Hydrangea Paniculata. You can see from the dead heads here the sort of plant it is. We'll show you a picture of what it was flowering, but that was a long cluster of creamy white flowers. It does really well in this spot. I thought it was a bit damp really, but it seems to like it. But at this time of the year, if we don't cut it back, it's going to start flowering from up here, and so we will get it everything up there, and there'll be nothing down here. So the aim of this is to tidy the plant up, but also to get the flowers back as low as we can. The general intention is to try and cut these shoots back to one bud above the old cut. So I would cut that one there. But of course, as you can appreciate, if you do that every year, gradually your plant is going to get slowly and get bigger, bigger, bigger. So to try and keep it within size, every year I try to take out one of the older branches to encourage more down the bottom as well. But we'll start off just by cutting back the old flowering stems, and then we'll have a look at it after that. Okay, before I start, I'm going to give my secateurs, as I always do, just a little sharpen to keep them on the sharp side. Secateurs have got usually two sides, one's flat, one's got the bevel on it, and I just go along there with my sharpening stone 3 or 4 times. They used to say do it 10 times that way, and immediately you can see the metal showing through. You're getting rid of a bit of that accumulation which came over winter, and then you go that way twice to get rid of any pebble. So there we are, and just gently feel it there with you. Can feel that's got a good edge on it. That's got the tools ready. So let's have a go at it. Okay, so we'll start from the very front here. A nice shoot, long shoot. This is very dead at the top now. It's been good to leave it on because that, the little seeds in there will have fed birds and insects and things. Maybe insects would hibernate, but it's quite good to leave it on anyway. But now it's time to encourage it, and I want to bring it right the way back down. Okay, so what we're doing with this now, as I say, is we're cutting back to one bud above last year's cut. So that's where it was cut last year, so it's all shot out. And now I'm going to take it back to one bud. So if I go for the cut up to there, I take a clean cut just across there. Now I've got this thin piece here. I'm going to just take that back to one and see what happens. But I'll keep an eye on that, and if that doesn't do anything, we might have to remove that. Now we come up to here and we take that one back to the lowest bud, and that one. This one's crossing over again, so I'm going to take that way back, and that one will come back to there as well. So over we go, more out there. Always back to just look at one bud up, and then across we go. And again. And again. Not too close. If you're too close you might damage the bud. This is all a bit spindly. I'm going to take that right back to the bottom, open it out a bit. And this bit here has all gone a bit thin and spindly, so that's coming right out as well. That way we're opening the plant up quite a bit, which is just what we're looking for. I'm just sort of thinking that if I take that back to there, the flower will be about here, which will just be right for the situation. I'm going to take that back to there because I don't mind having it flowering in that space there. See, what I'm trying to do is to keep it down, but at the same time to try and keep a reasonable shape with it. So here we go again. There, I'll take that. So that's actually 2 buds up, but it won't really matter because the height's just right. Now, if you want to work out where the flower heads are going to be, just look at these old shoots here. Now that's where I cut it back to last time, right down to there, and it's grown all that in a year and put the top on. Now it was a very good season last year, things grew away very well, so we know now that if I cut it back to there, it's going to be flowering about here. So if I want to work out how high my flowers are, I've just got to take that length there and just think that's going to go on top of where I cut it back to. So if I cut that back to there, for example, I know that the flower will be about here, because that's what's grown in a year. When it's flowering, it'll grade up. The whole bed will just grade up from the hedge, hydrangea, all the way down to the peony. There we are, that's okay. It's got to flower in August, so it's still got plenty of time to make the new growth and to flower. You know, the flowers will be up here somewhere, and it'll just make a lovely show, and we'll show you the pictures of it later on in the year.
Well, thanks so much for joining us here in Somerset. We do hope you enjoyed that. If you did and would like to follow us, do push the subscribe button. There's no charge. Ding the all-important notification bell. It just lets you know every time we upload a new video. Enjoy your week. Thank you very much again for joining us. Until next time.